Hi and welcome everyone to another video on this channel. In today's video we're gonna talk about everything you need to know ahead of Double Gaming 33, and as usual, if you enjoy this type of content and if you want to see more, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to this channel. But now let's get into it. Okay, so shortly just before showing you the best players to buy ahead of Double Gaming 33 and also discussing about who's the best captain this gaming, I just wanted to go through a little bit to see the fixtures actually for Double Gaming 33. As you can see, these are the only teams who are gonna double: Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Manchester City, Arsenal. These teams are also gonna blank in Gaming 34. Now it really depends on your chip strategy, how many players from these teams you want in your team, because as you can see from the screen, Manchester City and Arsenal fixtures especially are the best from this list, so I think that they should be our target at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that you should not buy any players from Aston Villa and Crystal Palace, but again, there are a lot of things to take into consideration here. Crystal Palace, Villa, City, these three teams could also have another double gaming this season. Now, that's not a guaranteed, but depending on the FA Cup results, as you may know, Crystal Palace are playing Aston Villa and Manchester City Bournemouth. Whichever two teams are gonna go through to the FA Cup semi-final, there is a chance those teams are gonna have another double gaming. So uh, for example, if you think that Aston Villa are just gonna beat Crystal Palace in the semi-final of the FA Cup, they are great options for this double gaming, obviously in particular 33, but also for another possibility in the near future. So you need to, obviously you can predict all those things, but you need to take that into consideration, I think. Now, we're gonna talk a lot about these things in the next section, but my last note here was that I wouldn't target Villa defenders for hits, maybe even for free. Yeah, there aren't many defenders from Aston Villa to target. Anyway, the fixtures are not amazing. Newcastle at home and City away, I don't see a lot of clean sheets in those. But yeah, let's move to the next section. Okay, so real shortly, I just wanted to go through a little bit to see the last lineup for Aston Villa against PSG from last night. Now, what we can make of that is not so much. We're gonna talk a lot about Aston Villa in the next section. Now, with the defense, pretty much we don't really care. It looks like a standard defense from Aston Villa: Cash, Konsa, Torres, Digne, Martinez in goal. Now, with McGinn and Tillemans, again, not really amazing FPL options at the moment, but what is the most interesting part in the starting 11 is that Rashford started again as a number 9 for Aston Villa. So now, I'm not saying that Watkins is not gonna play again this season. I just think that at some point Watkins is gonna start again for Aston Villa. I just can't see Rashford starting every game um, till the end of the season. But the thing is, the most important thing we need to take into consideration, we need to consider Rashford as the first choice number 9 for Aston Villa, and that in terms of FPL is just massive. Now Rogers again, he started, he played 90 minutes. He's again the safest option from Aston Villa. He's just playing every gaming. So yeah, also Aston Villa are out of the Champions League. What a great game they made last night, but wasn't just enough. So they are out of Champions League. They still have the semi-final of the FA Cup to be played, but now they can also concentrate on the Premier League. So let's go to the next section to see the best players to buy. Okay, so in the next section, I put some statistics for the best attacking players to buy ahead of Double Gaming 33. Now, obviously, in this list are not all the players who you need to buy in Gaming 33, but we're gonna discuss a lot about Saka, Marmoush, players like that in the captaincy section, so I just couldn't include them all. But here you're gonna see their expected goals and assists in the last 10 games. Just for Saka, I have put his statistics for the season, because obviously Saka didn't really play in the last 10 games, right? So yeah, his statistics only are for the year. Now you're gonna see his the players predicted points from Gaming 33 till the end of the season, because I think that, yeah, okay, everybody knows which players are the best for Double Gaming 33, but I just wanted to have a better view of how these players are gonna perform for you till the end of the season. So that's why I put it such a big amount of games, and also the fixture difficulty rating. Now, shortly with Sakai and Marmoush, they are great options. Marmoush probably the best player to buy if you don't have him already. We're gonna discuss about these players in the next section. For the captaincy. Now, Saka, a little bit of a risk there. We don't know if he's gonna play both games 90 minutes, probably not, but as you can see, these players have great statistics, and yeah, let's go to the more not so obvious ones. If I was to pick between Sar and Eze for Double Gaming 33, I would just go for Eze. Now, I don't think that it's such a big difference between them, and I think that Sar is also a great option. Definitely, if you have Sar in your team, I wouldn't sell him for Eze, but if you're buying new, if you're using your fleet or something like that, I think that for just 2 games, Eze might be a little bit better. Now, that's because also I think that Eze is a safer option. Obviously, he's on set pieces. If Mateta is not gonna be on the pitch, he's gonna take penalties. Now, what we know from Glasner, he just said that Mateta is gonna start next gaming. I mean, in the last fixture of Double Gaming 32. Sorry, so Mateta is not gonna be on the bench all the games, or he's not a doubt. He's still the first choice, number 9 for Crystal Palace, so he's gonna play most minutes. But if there's an opportunity for them to rest players against Arsenal away just before their semi-final cup, I think that yeah, obviously Eze could be rested too, but you get my point. If Eze is gonna be on the pitch, he's gonna be on the penalties. If Mateta is not. Now, if we go to the Aston Villa players, pretty much everyone wants to buy some. As I said before in the last videos, in the last weeks, I think that Rogers is just the best player, honestly, at the moment from Aston Villa. I mean, the best FPL option, just because he plays 90 minutes every gaming. You don't have any risk with him. Now, obviously, he could just be rested at some point, but he was not rested against Southampton. He played against PSG. They played amazingly. Yeah, he's not the most explosive player and with the most upside. If we were sure about Rashford and Watkins, I would prefer any of them ahead of Rodgers. That's the thing. Now, what we saw last night is that Rashford started again. So Rashford pretty much started in the last 3 or 4 games for Aston Villa as a number 9. Now, we don't know if that's gonna continue, but with the information we have at the moment, we just need to assume that Rashford is gonna be is the first choice number 9 for Aston Villa, and Watkins is just gonna be on the bench for now. But there's gonna be risk there. Now, if you look at the stats, Rashford's are pretty good, right? So that's the thing. I think that Rashford is the better pick. He's just not the safest one. He's a little bit more expensive also, so yeah, if you're on a fleet, I would go for sure for Rashford to try to go a little bit different. If you want to save your rank or something like that, just go Rogers if you don't want to take any risks. If you want to go different, yeah, Rashford could be the option. At the moment, I would pick him over Watkins just because I think that he looks better at the moment. Watkins came in against PSG, but yeah, he's not starting. You don't really want to buy a player who's not gonna start both games. Now, yeah, we don't know how they are gonna. They could line up with Rashford on the left and Watkins as a number 9, right? So, yeah, but Watkins is also really expensive. So for most people, if you're buying Watkins, you're selling someone like Isak. So is that move really worth it? For the possibility to have 2 games, but it doesn't really matter if Watkins is not gonna start both games. So yeah, I would avoid at the moment. Now let's see what's gonna happen in the future. Now the flavor of the week, Kevin De Bruyne. last season for Man City. Probably now we don't know if he's gonna play in the Premier League next year, but yeah, the thing is he's also a Man City midfielder, so you're just not gonna be so sure. If you wanna be sure, if you wanna play safe, just buy someone like Eze, Rogers, Sar, players like that. If you wanna go a little bit different, because as I said before, the fixtures for Manchester City are just amazing till the end of the season, pretty much. So I think that he's great. Now his statistics really doesn't tell us anything because De Bruyne didn't really play in the last 10 games. So, but in the last one he was amazing. So that's why maybe he's so popular at the moment. But the thing is also, if you want to buy a Man City midfielder, it's really tough to pick one. Now, with Foden, it looks like he's gonna be fit for the double game week 33, but again, you don't know if he's gonna start. With Savinho the same, with Grealish the same, with Doku the same, yeah, with Oscar Bob the same. We don't know. We Nobody can guarantee you that any Man City midfielder is gonna start both in the double. Probably De Bruyne is not gonna start two, but if he's gonna start one game, play 70 80 minutes, and in the other one 30 minutes, I think that I would take that from Kevin De Bruyne. We know what he can do, obviously, along the years. He's on set pieces, he could be on penalties, although I think that Marmoush has the better chance at the moment. He's really creative. He can score from long distance. So yeah, I don't really need to talk too much about Kevin De Bruyne. He could be a great punt. That's why I think that on free definitely I would have him. The fixtures for Man City also are great after the double. So that's also a thing to take into consideration. Now another player, if you want to take a punt, if you want to go a little bit different, is Gabriel Martinelli from Arsenal. As you can see from this list, he's predicted to score the most points till the end of the season. Now, obviously, that really depends if he's gonna start all the games. Firstly, now Arsenal are gonna play today against Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, so we need to see if they are gonna go through. The chances are they are gonna be in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. Uh, yeah, the title pretty much is over for Arsenal, so Liverpool are just gonna win the title. They are gonna uh, be in the top four, obviously. So they shouldn't prioritize Premier League, but also at the same time, I just don't think that Arsenal are just not gonna play any players in the Premier League because obviously they need to keep them fit to have them match fitness for the Champions League. So yeah, with one like Martinelli, I think that at that price 6.5, he could be a great option. Now, that's assuming you don't want to go with double Arsenal defense. I still think that that's the way to go at the moment. But if you want to go a little bit different, yeah, you can go for someone like Merino, someone like Martinelli, Trossard maybe. Maybe Trossard is gonna get more minutes in the Premier League if Arsenal are gonna go through in the Champions League. But again, I like Martinelli as a player and as an option, but more likely as a punt. So it really depends how you want to play this game. I think that he could be a great punt. That's it. Now, the last player here is not having a double gaming, but it's Jared Bowen with a fixture against Southampton at home in double gaming 33. Now, obviously, I would just buy a double gaming player. I would not try to by a single gaming player because that's how I like to play the game. But the thing is, um, we need to maybe you're just that kind of manager who likes to play for the future. Maybe you don't have your fleet, you're not using your fleet in gaming 34. So in that case, you just need to buy a player who's going to be great for the future. Now Bowen has a great fixture now and also good fixtures till the end of the season, so he could be a great option on penalties when Paqueta is not going to play. So yeah, would you be surprised if Bowen is gonna outscore the majority of these players in double gaming 33? Now, maybe not Saka, Marmoush, Eze, players like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's gonna outscore some of them. Now, let's see the best defenders to buy ahead of double gaming 33. Next up, we're gonna talk about the best defenders to buy ahead of double gaming 33 and also till the end of the season. Now, this section is gonna be a little bit shorter than the last one, I think, because the defenders pretty much pick themselves. There aren't any so many options to buy. Now, obviously, from Man City, Aston Villa, Palace, and Arsenal, the best defensive teams are Arsenal, obviously, with 0.72 expected goals conceded in the last 10 games. Obviously, the best defense here is Arsenal, and then is Manchester City. So, yeah, that's why I think that the way to go is to double Arsenal defense. Now, obviously, from these teams, from Arsenal, the best players are Raya, Saliba, and Kivior if you don't really have the money. If you have the funds, I would just go Saliba for the safety. Kivior could be a great option. Now Timber, you could include Timber also in this list, but I just think that he's maybe a more rotational risk than the others. And yeah, these are the players I would look from Arsenal against Ipswich away and Crystal Palace at home. The fixtures are great pretty much till the end of the season. As you can see, they are predicted to score a lot of points until game week 38. Now, the second best defense, surprisingly, maybe for some, is Manchester City with one. Sorry, I just made a mistake. It's Liverpool, obviously, the second best defense on this list. Now, I put here Bradley. Liverpool are not gonna double in double gaming 33, but as I said before, maybe you don't have a free, maybe you're not using any chip in gaming 34, so you need to navigate the blank. So is it worth it for everyone to just buy a lot of double gaming players and then in gaming 34 to not have any playing players? So maybe not, but Bradley could be a great option at that price, 4.7 millions. He's not really so attacking. I mean, he wasn't really attacking in the last gimmicks, but we know that he could be an attacking threat from Liverpool. Now, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, really, we don't know anything, so we don't know if he's gonna be available again this season. So if you want to take a punt, a little bit of a punt, because I think that he's gonna start in the next few games at least, pretty much. He's the best right back for Liverpool at the moment. I think that he could be great, and also Liverpool are playing against Leicester. So, would you be surprised if Bradley is gonna outscore someone like Saliba? Personally, I wouldn't. Obviously, it can happen. Now, if we move to the Man City players, Guardiol and Diaz here. City are defending a little bit better than in the start of the season. The fixtures, as I said before, are great for Man City pretty much till the end of the season. Now, Guardiol is the best option here. He has also a little bit of attacking threat, as you can see in the last 10 games, 0.19. Now, yeah, there is the option to double up if you want. Maybe the safest one after him is Diaz. I'm not taking into consideration the goalkeepers here because I think that Ederson could be uh, a great option now. Obviously, if he's gonna be fit, because at the moment we really don't know if Ederson is gonna be fit for the next game. In that case, I wouldn't take a risk with the Man City goalkeeper because you could buy Ortega and then just Ederson to be back. So yeah, Diaz is pretty much the closest thing you're gonna get to another safe defender to play, but obviously he could be rested. So I would just go for Guardiol personally, but yeah, if you want to double up, that's perfectly fine. Munoz, no surprises here. The fixtures are not amazing for double gaming 33, but you have a fixture against Bournemouth at home where maybe Crystal Palace could keep a clean sheet. The second one is against Arsenal away. That's not really great, but Munoz is the most, it's a really attacking defender, so you don't own him just for the clean sheets, right? Now, yeah, probably he's in everyone's teams at the moment. If you don't have Munoz, would I buy him? I'm not really sure. It really depends on your team and if you have other players to sell and to buy. I would prioritize always the attackers and midfielders because, for example, if you don't have someone like Marmoush, I would just buy him ahead of Munoz. But that's pretty clear. Now, from we have also Konsa from Aston Villa here. As I said in the beginning, I wouldn't target really any Aston Villa defenders for this double game week. Newcastle and Man City are really tough fixtures. I don't see a clean sheet here now. Obviously, it could happen, but I just don't see it at the moment. But if you really want to go, Konsa obviously is the safest pick, 4.4 millions. You could go Digne, but personally I wouldn't, because yeah, you just don't know if he's gonna start all the games. And yeah, from Aston Villa you could go for Martinez. If you really want to buy a goalkeeper, I didn't include a lot of goalkeepers. Obviously, someone like Martinez from Aston Villa, Henderson, Raya, and Ederson or Ortega. These are the only options if you really want to buy a goalkeeper for Double Gaming 33. But yeah, I wouldn't prioritize that. Now, if we go to the last defender here on this list, maybe a little bit hindsight or not. Ainery, he just scored, assisted, he played amazingly in the last gaming. Now, I didn't put him here just because he scored in the last game. As you can see here, he has the best statistics. His expected goal involvements 0.29, the best on this list. Wolverhampton are also defending a lot better since they have the new coach. So that's also the thing. Wolverhampton fixtures till the end of the season are really decent. So uh, again, if you don't want to use your free hitting gaming 34, Ainery for the future, for the long term, could be a decent buy. But pretty much these are the best defenders to buy ahead of double gaming 33, and you know it. Now let's discuss a little bit about who's the best captain in gaming 33. Okay, so in the final section, these are the best captaincy options from my point of view, at least. Now obviously I try to not include a lot of players because it's pretty obvious which way we're gonna go. Before this gaming, for me pretty much it was between Marmoush and Bukayo Saka. Now slowly the risk tied up to Bukayo Saka's minutes, and let's see how many minutes he's gonna get against Real Madrid. Let's see if he's gonna be fit for double gaming 33. Then I'm just gonna assess if I wanna buy him and captain him. But he was the best captaincy option, obviously, in my mind. If he was to play both games in a double gaming, now I'm not so sure about it. Uh, because I just don't know if Arsenal are gonna go through to the semi-final of the Champions League. They could easily rest him against Ipswich, so that's the more dangerous game to be rotated for Bukayo Saka. Because after that, I just don't think that Saka is not gonna play in the Premier League again. Because obviously they need to keep him fit and in the best form possible, but still he has to have some minutes. Uh, in the Premier League to be good to go in the Champions League, obviously. Now, again, Arsenal title chances are pretty much over, but still, I just don't think that they are not going to play their best players. Still, they have a lot to play. Um, but yeah, with Bukayo Saka, there is a risk. If you want to go for the captaincy, as you can see, his statistics are from the last 10 games, but obviously he played just 3 games from the bench, so ignore Bukayo Saka statistics. His expected goals 0.97. It really doesn't matter. That's just because he had a lot of chances in the last games he played, but the statistics is not accurate because he didn't play 10 games. Now, obviously, we know what Bukayo Saka can do. The fixtures are great against Ipswich away and Crystal Palace at home. Even if he's gonna play just one game against Crystal Palace at home, I think that he could do really great points. So as a buy, I think that probably he's gonna be in my team, and a lot of people are gonna try to buy him. But for the captaincy, I'm just not sure about it at the moment. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Marmoush. He's the cheapest players, finally, on this list, 7.6 millions. His statistics are amazing, 0.48 expected goals. Now he's not really such a creative player, but now he's the number 9 from Manchester City, so he's closest you're gonna get to a nailed City attacker at the moment. Now, obviously, uh, he could be benched also. That wouldn't surprise me a lot if he's gonna be benched at some point. But at the moment, I'm assuming he's gonna start both games. He could be also on penalties. He's in form, let's say that. They're gonna play against Everton away, Aston Villa at home. So the fixtures are not as good as for Arsenal, in my opinion, I think. But they are not bad. Aston Villa are conceding chances. Now Everton, are a tough defense to beat, but still, it's Manchester City. They just destroyed the Crystal Palace. So yeah, I think that at the moment Marmoush is the best captaincy options, but you can captain other players if you really want to. Let's talk a little bit about Mateta. He was subbed off at halftime against Man City. Now, what we know at the moment is that Glasner said that Mateta is gonna start against Newcastle tonight. So yeah, he's the starting forward for Crystal Palace. In case you just didn't know what how to see this subbing off. Now, obviously, the fixtures are not amazing. Bournemouth at home and Arsenal away. Palace players could be rested, some of them, or get reduced minutes against Arsenal away because after that they're gonna play in the semi-final of the FA Cup. But still, also the fixture is not great against Arsenal away. So either they are gonna be rested or a fixture is really bad. If you want to go a little bit different, I think that yeah, my third option would be Mateta, and then Eze probably from Crystal Palace for double gaming 33. But that's just because I would like to captain a double gaming player. So if you want to captain someone like Bowen or Salah for the grey fixtures, even if it's a single fixture, just go for it. I think that's okay too. Another player could be De Bruyne, although would I trust him with my captaincy? Probably not. But if you want to go for the vibes, uh, yeah, for the last time to own Kevin De Bruyne and captain him in a double gaming, this could be the last chance for you to do so. Now, I just wouldn't do that just because of the risk. Again, I think that he's gonna get reduced minutes. We don't know if he's gonna play both games. We don't know even if he's gonna start both games for Manchester City in the double. But yeah, he could be a decent option from Manchester City if you don't want to captain Marmoush. I think that Kevin De Bruyne is the second one from Manchester City. Now another one is Mohamed Salah. So maybe you're laughing a little bit because he wasn't really great in the last game mix, but Mohamed Salah is gonna play against Leicester away. So would you be surprised if he was to get a hat trick or to score 2 goals against Leicester? I just wouldn't be so surprised. So yeah, if you wanna just captain him, I think that although it's a double gaming and a lot of people are gonna captain double gaming players, I think that Mohamed Salah captaincy and effective ownership is gonna be really high just because of that fixture. So yeah, that's why I included him on the list. I want to captain a double gaming players, but I think that Mohamed Salah could easily outscore anyone, honestly. So yeah, these are my captaincy options. Please let me know in the comments down below who's gonna be your captain, which players are you gonna bring, what moves are you gonna do ahead of double gaming 33. And thanks again for watching this long. If you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more on this channel, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.